For the first 6 years I was in Congress, I said that climate change was nonsense. All I knew was Al Gore was for it. And that was the end of the inquiry, you know, because I represented a very red district in South Carolina and running for the House again in '04. So my son came to me, the eldest of our 5 children. He just turned 18, so he's voting for the first time. And he said to me, "Dad, I'll vote for you, but you're going to clean up your act on the environment." He was not making a classic interest group threat, you know. I mean, he was going to vote for me no matter what. I mean, what if we'd lost by 1 vote? It wasn't as an economic interest to vote against me. And so because he knew that we were mortgaging the farmette that we lived on in order to...
Definitely, it's the economy, stupid.
Yeah, yeah. He knew that how are we going to pay tuition, you know, Robert, if I go down to defeat. But he was really saying, "Dad, I love you, and you can be better than you were before. So how about make this Inglis 2.0, the new and improved version?" So his 4 sisters agreed, his mother agreed, new constituency, you know, a very important constituency to respond to. Change the locks on the doors, you know. So anyway, that was the first step of this 3-step metamorphosis. Second step was going to Antarctica and seeing the evidence in the ice core drillings. And then the third step was another science committee trip, Great Barrier Reef, Aussie climate scientist named Scott Heron showing us the glories of the reef and its challenges with coral bleaching. You know, the very sad thing is by 2050, 90% of the Earth's corals may be dead. And so because of a 1-degree rise in the water temperature. And so he's showing us all this, and I can tell that he and I share a worldview. He's now a very dear friend, but even not really knowing him, I knew that we shared a worldview because I could see that he was worshiping God in what he was showing me. You know, St. Francis of Assisi said, "Preach the gospel at all times, if necessary, use words." And so Scott was preaching the gospel, and I could see it in his eyes, I could hear it in his voice. It's written all over his face that he was worshiping God and what he was showing me. And so I knew we shared worldview. Later we had a chance to talk, and he told me about conservation changes he's making in his life in order to love God and love people. Rides his bike to work, some things that my conservative friends might find silly. He does without air conditioning as much as his wife and 3 daughters will allow him in Townsville, Australia, a very hot place. And he tries to do without the electric dryer, all in order to consciously love people coming after us. And so I got right inspired. I want to be like Scott, loving God and loving people. And so I came home and introduced the Raise Wages, Cut Carbon Act of 2009. That's a revenue-neutral, border-adjustable carbon tax.